The Boston Celtics have cemented themselves as the best team in the NBA, winning 7 of their last 8 games, and more importantly, they've got a consistent, well, more consistent bench unit than they have previously, with Sam Hauser starting to play better. Al Horford, Peyton Pritchard starting to play better. Hauser really is their best consistent bench option, while Horford and Peyton Pritchard, every night their averages rise. And then you also got your two superstars in Jayson Tatum, who's been playing like one, and Jaylen Brown, who his scoring averages are down. But we'll talk about that, as well as the new additions of Jrue Holiday, Kristaps Porzingis. I know they're in their old jerseys. Bear with me. And Derek White. So a lot to talk about here for the Boston Celtics, talking about how they are the best team in the NBA. Not only, theoretically, but also they have the best record in the NBA. So make sure you stick around for the full video, hit the like button, leave me a comment down below, and hit that subscribe button. As you can see here, a large majority of the people that watch these videos are not subscribed to the channel, so if that's you, go ahead and change that. Now let's go ahead and get started. They got the best starting group in the entirety of the NBA, especially now with the Nuggets losing Jamal Murray for a while. This is undoubtedly the best group in the league, especially given the fact that they're all staying healthy. That was probably the biggest X factor, knock on wood, for this Celtics team, was everybody staying healthy. So far, they are good as gold. Looking at the roster here, the early MVP candidate for them is Jayson Tatum, who's averaging about 28 points per game, 9 rebounds, 4 assists. He just came to Charlotte and gave us 46. However, that was a game that the Celtics definitely should not have lost. That was a game that's the difference between them being, 7 of their last 8 or 8 of their last 8. So 50% from the field, 37% from 3, 1.2 steals. Really the only mistake he made in that game was missing that last free throw. I mean, he had 31 at the break, ended with 46, and on the year he's got a 31 player efficiency rating and a 31% usage rate. Both of those are through the roof, and again, he's still 19. Is that joke beginning to get a little overused? I don't know. I think I like it, because every video I say it, and then we got a couple NPCs down in the comments saying he's not 18. What are you talking about? So there's Jayson Tatum. If you just commented that, you should be ashamed of yourself. Now let's go ahead and continue on with the guard clamps. They got Derek White and Jrue Holiday. Really, really good defenders there. Bald Derek White is essentially Michael Jordan. You can't really spot a difference, although he's getting a little bit further back down to earth now. He was lighting it up beginning of the year. Now he's down to about 14 points a game, 4 rebounds, 4.5 assists, which is still really good numbers. I mean, Derek White is a hooper. Honestly, he hasn't even been I said he was the weak link in last. I think I did a video on the Celtics last week, and people started hating. He's not the weak link, okay? I take that back. I apologize. You see the efficiency, the defense. He does a little bit of everything for him. And then Jrue Holiday, another guy here that can really clamp down. That's kind of the impact that he can make guarding a guard, a forward, and a center. So really good stuff there from Jrue Holiday, being able to guard any position on the court. About 12 points per game for him, 7.3 rebounds and 5 assists on the year. Numbers are really down scoring-wise from last year, but they don't really need him to score. I mean, he's like their 5th option on the offensive side of the ball. Efficiency is not really there either, but it'll come back. Again, he's been a really good three-point shooter throughout his career, 37% on his career, so the 34% right now is a little bit of an outlier. Like we said, though, the law of averages says that it's going to come back to where it was. Now, the big game changer for the Celtics this year has been Kristaps Porzingis. On the year, he's averaging 20 points per game, 7 rebounds, and 1.8 blocks a night. And that's something they just lacked last year. When they went to the finals a couple years ago, Al Horford kind of played this role pretty well, but as he has grown older, now they need the unicorn himself, Kristaps Porzingis, to come in, shooting at 55% from the field, 33% from 3 in 30 minutes a game, and we call him the unicorn because, of course, at 7'2", he can do everything. Now, he must stay healthy. Had played one season where he played in more than 60 games in like the last 5 years, so interesting there. But a guy that I can't really get a read on is Jaylen Brown. $300 million, and he still can't go left. I mean, he was kind of starting to heat up, but honestly, he's just kind of been disappointing this year. His averages are down across the board. Now, maybe it's because, Kristaps Porzingis adding that third score, but still, he just got paid $300 million. he should be doing a little bit more than he is, averaging 22 points a game, 5 rebounds, 3 assists. For $300 million, I don't know about that. 46% from the field, 36% from 3, so he's not inefficient, but well, maybe a little bit. Maybe you'd like that to be a little bit higher for a guy you're paying $300 million. Overall, maybe he's just off to a slow start, though. The bench, beginning of the year, they had no bench, but it is starting to step up. That's the big narrative here on the Celtics, is they have no bench. Well, Sam Hauser is now averaging about 10 points per game on 44% shooting from 3. Peyton Pritchard's up to about 6.5 points a game on 39% shooting from the field, 32% from 3. Not great, but it's starting to rise a little bit. And then Al Horford, his numbers are starting to rise. He's up to 40% or over 40% from the field, and he's up to about 6.5 points a game as well. And Luke Cornett there. So they got a solid 9-man rotation, but they need a difference maker. They need O'Shea Brissett or one of these 3 guys to come in and be able to be that 10th man off the bench. Maybe they make a move at the deadline, but they need a wing that can really score it off the bench in a bad way. Sam Hauser, yes, he's a wing that can score, but he's a shooter. He can't really create for himself. So they need either one of these guys, or it's probably likely going to have to be somebody at the deadline. They stacked up on second-round picks, so maybe they go out and get a veteran scorer at some point this year. And I think that's what Brad Stevens can do. He's proven he's going to be a really good executive, and he's built a pretty good squad here. And they have a pretty easy, relatively easy schedule coming up. They go to Orlando tomorrow afternoon, and very winnable game. But Orlando right now, hey, that's a team to watch out for. Second in the East right now. Then you got Atlanta, another team that's pretty solid out in the East, but still the Celtics are the best team in the NBA. They should be winning that game. Should be winning the Chicago game as well. So honestly, you should probably be 15-3. I'd see 14-4. That's acceptable. Heading into a big time game against Philadelphia at home. And then you got Cleveland twice, Orlando 2 more times. So you got a 5-game homestand there. Need to win at least 3 of those, probably 4. Now, what are y'all's thoughts on the Celtics? I like them a lot. I think this team kind of fits together very well. Like I said, I think they have the best starting lineup in the league, especially with Murray being out for the Nuggets. And again, as long as they don't get injured, this is the best team in the league. But how shortly do we see Brad Stevens and company go out and get that bench scorer that they really, really need, that wing that can come in and be instant offense? There's definitely going to be a veteran team out there like the Bulls we could be seeing having a fire sale soon, among others. So yeah, with that being said, that's going to be it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to like button and leave me a comment down below, as well as hitting that subscribe button. It really helps us out in the YouTube algorithm. And with all that being said, thanks so much for watching today's video.